What is up, guys? It is Lely, and today we start off the PES 2019 tactical series. This is a little series where I give you guys tactical advice with each team in mind. So we are going to start off today with Liverpool, but because it's the first video, lads, I'm actually going to give you not just a specific set of formations or my sort of preferred setup with Liverpool. I'm going to give you one that you can use for any team, and then you'll see what I'm going to tell you, what changes need to be made when using stronger teams and lesser teams. So let's start off with the most important one, which is preset tactics. These are all just a matter of preference, who you like to play, player settings and man marking, and who you want your set pieces to be done. So these ones aren't as important as this. So we jump into the preset tactics. Now, I'm not going to go into this because it'll just reset everything, but you can just pick up the players and move them exactly where you want and then just change their position. So as you know, Liverpool start off with a 4-3-3, and I've just changed one of the centre mids, dropped him a bit deeper and made him a defensive mid in Fabinho. So we start off with the attacking instructions. Now the formation, lads, that Liverpool play, everyone knows they're a deadly team. With the players they got, they're a very deadly team on the counter-attack. The reason I haven't clicked this yet is because it's a possession-based game, but the way I'm set up, it's actually more dangerous on the counter-attack. You just have to bear with me, lads. So you can see it's here, it's possession game. The reason I have possession game is because if a team is just wanting to sit off me and try to negate my counter-attack, and they think I'm set up for only the counter-attack, well, they're wrong, and they're going to be in for a world of pain if they just allow me to have the ball. So also, build up play short, because if you're going to go possession game and they're allowing you to have the ball, then obviously you want to have close support around you. So attacking area centre. So why I do this is because you get your centre mids or your attacking mids, defensive mids, even your wingers, they all start to tuck in a little bit, and then you can manually push them out wide. You send a through ball out wide, it stretches the pitch and things like that. So you want the other team to kind of go a bit compact, and then you can easily just exploit them down the flanks. So you can either put it on the left wing or right wing, things like that. This is just the way PES works. I'm not talking about in real life. We're just talking about PES, lads. Flexible positioning. Well, the reason I like to have this is because if people are having your players man marked, your players will sort of drift out of position and hopefully drag out them centre backs that are man marking your players. Even if they're not man marking and they're just deep, sometimes just having a player go off his normal route towards goal, it can just create that bit more space and just that unpredictability in attack. So moving on to support range, and the lower you have this bar, lads, the closer the player comes, so you actually have a lot more passes to pick in the short range. You can see I already got possession game and short pass build up, so I keep this on high, and this is why when I'm playing on the counter attack, this is like a lethal way of playing, because that's when your players are really spread out, and the more you can stretch the pitch on a counter attack, the easier your attacks become. So moving on to defensive now, and anyone that just watches Liverpool knows this isn't their tactics. I've already done the changes. They normally play with frontline pressure, containment area middle, and they have pressuring. They actually have it aggressive, and they have the defensive line all the way up here, but lads, you will just get absolutely raped by any through ball. It doesn't even have to be a quality one. You'll just get raped like this. So for that defensive solidity and the way I've got the attacking going, you're going to be very committed. So you need your players to kind of drop off a little bit. And that's why I've put the conservative, pressure and conservative, so they kind of hold up and not commit themselves and get done by an easy turn or through ball over the top or anything like that. Defensive line, you need it to be deep, but you don't want it to be too deep. And then the compactness, I like to have a lot of people sort of in the box, like cramped in there. So you don't want to be too cramped in though, because then they can easily just do you on the cutbacks. So that's why I give it a little bit of a leeway, but it's still pretty high compact. And because I'm playing with Liverpool, I know that I've got good defensive players in the air. So if I didn't have players that were good defensively in the air, like Lovren and Van Dijk, who are really good in the air in this game, I would actually sort of try to cut the crosses out by not letting them get in. So I would drop the compactness and make it spread out wide, so you kind of make it harder for them to get that cross in the first place. But because I know Liverpool have got good defenders in the air, I kind of allow them to put crosses in there and expect to deal with most of them. So what you see in there, lads, is my preferred tactics with most teams. Now my twist with Liverpool, lads, this is what I like to do. So I like to play Chamberlain if Shaqiri is off form, and I'll have him play like this. And if Shaqiri is not off form, I actually move him into attacking mid, because it's just better for the natural shape of the team. And then I'll have Fabinho, and I'll actually go to advanced instructions. Lads, I always have all the advanced instructions up as a go-to, because you don't know what every team's strengths are. So I always have them off like this. But with Liverpool, I actually have, with my team like this, I actually don't have advanced instructions, But for example, lads, if Fabinho was off form, what I'd have to do is they don't actually have another good DM. So what I would do is I'd have Henderson there because I think he's the best defensive player, and then I would change him into a centre mid, and then I would actually go to attack, go to defensive, and make Henderson sit back because that's the instruction for him to not move forward at all. So this is my preferred Liverpool formation, and if Shaqiri is off form, there's not many other good attacking mids in this team. And why I like to play Oxlade-Chamberlain, lads, is because he's just very unique as a centre mid. You don't actually have many centre mids in this game that are as quick and as strong as he is. So you can see he's really good to dribble with, and because he's in that sort of area which people aren't sort of used to playing against a player like that in, he's really good to use. So now I'm going to show you my go-to formation like you saw before with a weaker team. So the differences are here, lads. I keep the setup as it was before, so you can see the defensive instructions there. This is a very defensively sound setup, and the attacking instructions are exactly the same. Even though my players aren't the quickest up front, it's still a good setup to have. But the difference is here, lads, what I actually do is, with players that aren't as strong or as fast going forward, I need that defensive stability because I know I'm going to be on the back foot more often than not, and these players aren't going to intimidate my opponents to make them actually want to sit back either. So I know they're going to be throwing a lot at me, lads. So I drop these two into left mid and right mid, so that does add a bit more defensive solidity. Probably around here, that's where you kind of want to drop them. And then I'll make one of these guys, lads, an attacking mid. And that's just all I do because it keeps the defensive sort of solidity there. And if you do drop these two guys there and you don't make this guy an attacking mid, then you're really going to struggle to get some attacks going. So that's what I pretty much do with weaker teams. Now, if for example I was using Crystal Palace and I know Zaha's a standout winger in this game. When I say standout winger, I mean like he's too good for a team like Crystal Palace. No offense, Crystal Palace fans, but he's like a cut above the rest, and you know he's really useful to have. I just turn him up as a right winger, and I'd keep the left midfielder there like that. Or you know, if it was a left winger that was really good, put him left wing, and then just make this guy a right midfielder. So it still keeps the defensive balance. As long as you're defensively sound, chances will come at the other end, and that's why also, lads, it's important to have possession gameplay with teams like this, because counter-attacking isn't going to be the most effective with teams like this. So when you do get the ball and you do go on the counter-attack, don't be afraid with a team that is weaker than the opposition team. Don't be afraid to get forward, but then hold it up in midfield and build the attack and let your wing backs join the attack and things like that, because that's what you'll need to do with teams like this. You'll actually need to hold the ball with teams like this more than you would with Liverpool, your Man Cities, Madrids, Barcelonas. You don't actually need to hold the ball that much with teams like Liverpool, like I just mentioned, because their counter-attacks are going to be so potent, so direct and so brutal that you really don't need to have the ball that often. But with these sorts of teams, lads, with the weaker teams, you need to probe and actually pick your spaces. If you want to see me do tactical advice for other teams, or should we say optimal tactics for just say the teams like Manchester City, Tottenham, Manchester United, Arsenal, could be West Ham, Crystal Palace, Levante from La Liga, could be Atlanta from Serie A, anywhere, lads, you just let me know in the comment section which team you want to see, and I will do a video, after obviously spending a bit of time testing them, and then obviously I'll even show you gameplay and see how each things work and explain for that team why I think what the tactics I've chose, why I think they're the best ones. So if you do find this stuff useful, lads, let me know, and give this video a thumbs up. If you want to see more, remember to subscribe. Until next time, guys, peace.